Hey, girl. Hey. So do you remember how you were talking about Kathy Ireland the other day?
Yes.
So I found out what she's doing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that the curse struck her too.
No. So she is doing like a home goods thing. She's got a home goods program. The reason I know this is she was at a place where I get my soap. So I buy this soap called Charlie Soap. It's an all natural soap made in North Carolina from like coconuts. Okay, you're gone. Hey, girl. Hey. So now back to Kathy Ireland. Dear listeners, we had a little bit of a moment. Anyway, I was telling him that, so I buy this soap called Charlie Soap, which is made in North Carolina out of coconuts. Anyway, she was visiting the Charlie's Soap plant and like talking about how wonderful their soap was.
Oh, that's nice. She'll still look good.
I mean, I didn't actually see a picture of her. They're like, Kathy Ireland came to visit, and I didn't see any pictures of her.
Oh, maybe she's like the Hunchback of Notre Dame now. She's just in the shadows.
In the shadows, my God, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Jesus effing Christ, man.
Sorry, I'm in a mood. I'm sorry.
Jesus. Well, dear listeners, we had like a 20-minute fiasco. Is that a good word for it?
I guess it wasn't fun like a fiasco, though.
Well, and where Maim plugged in some things and unplugged some things, and nothing was working, and technology sometimes does not work for us.
I mean, just in general, sometimes technology just doesn't work, period. But in this particular case, it was kind of a pain in the butt because this is the end of our work night. We're tired. We want to do this podcast because we really enjoy talking about it. But good gosh, sometimes it is just too much.
Too much, girl, too much. So what's new with you? What's new with you? Tell me a story.
Sure. I've been trying to somehow put together 4 different looks for this weekend. And yesterday, part of my evening got taken out because we had to take Mr. Maim to the urgent care because he dropped a pair of pruning scissors on his foot and cut his foot. So needless to say, I'm glad he didn't have anything worse and they just had to do a mild stitch. But as you can imagine, you know how anxious I get about timetables, and I kind of already had plotted out the time. So I was just a little bit anxious. And yeah, let
me tell you about the last time. So there was not too long ago, there was some broken glass in our yard from
Annie Lennox. Yes, Annie Lennox. Yes.
Well, girl, I was wearing flip-flops. I didn't realize that I thought I'd gotten all the pieces. But I stepped on one and I came in and I was bleeding, as you do. And Mr. Mims was like, "Oh my God, you need to go to the urgent care." I'm like, "No, just get me some alcohol." "You need to go to the urgent." "No, I am fine. Just give me some alcohol." So, I had it cleaned up and I was fine. I just need some alcohol. So I went next door to the Walgreens where I did in fact learn that if you have a cut, they will not give you a tetanus shot. They will send you to an urgent care to get a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, no, because you get a tetanus shot there normally. If it's just time for you to get a tetanus shot, you can get your tetanus shot.
It's not the same thing, girl.
Well, what's the difference? I'm waiting.
Why you ask me? I don't know anything about policy. I just know it's not the same thing.
I just need a tetanus shot. That's the only thing I needed was a tetanus shot. Did I get my tetanus shot? Yes.
From the Walgreens?
No. I had to go to the urgent care.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Where they looked at me and they said, "Oh, you did a really good job cleaning this up." It's like, "Well, thank you. Here's some Neosporin. Do you want it?" "No, not really. I just need some alcohol." Uh-huh.
Well, ours wasn't that simple, and he had to get stitches. So
Yeah,
there
oh
you
no,
go.
no, no. I understand. I was trying to empathize, but not as I know. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. Do not give me that look, girl.
That was you trying to.
I never said I was good at it. It's a whole new world with me.
I just got that reminder about you being the biology person and me being the English person, because I'm like, girl, you need to go look up empathy again. Just saying. Wow.
Well, it wasn't sympathy.
You don't know what that word is.
Yes,
honey.
I do. I know what
you
sympathy.
Do not.
I do too.
Who was the last person you showed sympathy to? I'm waiting.
Oh, my mama, when she just had her gallbladder taken out.
That is not the same thing, because that's your mama. That ain't the same thing. Don't even.
You meant somebody who I'm not blood related to.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what? Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, have mercy.
So we have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon. And dear listeners, I am going to combine all of our Patreons together. I'm going to listen to Maim, whose head is much bigger because her normal mic's not working. So she's right close up on the screen.
We're like that. It's like that TV show from the 70s, Password, and the spouses used to be, the celebrity spouses used to be on the TV. It's like that. Oh my God, this is like Password now. I'm looking at my picture like, this is literally Password.
I have a joke for you after I talk about our few things. Yes, it is going to be patreon.com/Mims and Maim. Everything will be updated to let you know to go there. But that way you can access all of our stuff. We do have a Discord. For those of you that don't know what Discord is, it's where you go and you can talk to us. I think I've invited Maim to it a long time ago.
I think so. we didn't do anything.
We didn't do anything after we do it. But, you know, we're thinking about maybe, you know, once a month watching a movie on it. We can do that. You know, that sort of thing. So throw us some money. Send us some ideas. You can send some ideas at our Twitter at YouSlayMePod. Ha 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 ha.
Yes.
And we just starting live. It should have already started live. You've probably already had the bonus episode of it. You will now know.
You've heard us talk about it for a month now.
Golden Palace. You listened to it last week. Where's Dorothy? If you liked it, like and subscribe to that wherever you find your podcast. Here is my joke, and then we'll get into the podcast. Are you ready?
Anticipation's killing it.
So, well, just go ahead and kill it, Dad.
With fire.
So, speaking of password, years ago, there was a game of password, or you know, guess the word. And the Queen of England was the guest. Yeah, right. So everybody was like, she was coming on stage like, hello. That's like, well, welcome, Queen Elizabeth. So great to have you. Yes, quite wonderful to have you. And he's like, well, let's move this along. We're going to show the audience at home what the word is. And the audience at home sees the word and hears, the word is moosecock. And the Queen of England, you know, the announcer's like, go ahead, Queen, ask your question, see if you can figure out the word is. And the Queen of England goes, can you put it in your mouth? And the announcer goes, well, yes, I say it's a moosecock. Thin. Did I give Maim an aneurysm?
I'm trying to figure out where the joke was in that. It felt more like a funny anecdote.
And this is season 1, episode 10. Murder takes a curtain call.
You've definitely done better before. Definitely.
I know it. I've definitely done worse.
Much, yes.
God. So we're in Cabot Cove.
Cabot Cove.
We're finally in Cabot Cove.
Okay, let me just stop right here at the very beginning.
Okay, we're in Cabot Cove and we're stopping.
I realized something about this show that I want to share.
Well, share.
The Cabot Cove episodes, I think, are my favorite episodes.
So far, yes.
Yeah, like I am very, I just in love with like Ethan and Amos, and I love it. It's my favorite.
It's because Tom Bosley's a decent actor, right? Like
he was America's original dad, Bob Saget.
That's okay. So we're at Cabot Cove.
Sorry, don't know where that came from.
Wait, what was he on? He was the
Happy Days.
Oh, he was. I hated Happy Days. It was so boring. It was so boring.
Okay.
But I have seen the Statue of the Fonz in Milwaukee.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mondays, Tuesdays, happy days. Tuesdays, happy days.
Maybe that should be our next podcast.
No, that thing went on for way too long.
We can hate watch it.
Way too long. No.
We'll do like a special season long ones where we just compress the entire season plot lines into one episode.
God. And then the Fonz dies. Finn. No, so I was actually thinking about our next podcast before we move on to the Rostov Ballet, which is in Boston right now.
Did the Fonz really die?
No, he never dies. What are you talking about? No.
I never watched Happy Days except for like Nick at Night clips.
Oh, I was thinking of Freaks and Geeks because it was only one season. No? Okay. Or My So-Called Life. Okay. Where's Claire Danes?
honey, we need to go back and rewatch that because that show was a pinnacle gay 90s kid.
It really was. And now he is the hot doctor on Star Trek Discovery.
Just goes to show you, kids, anybody can be a swan with enough testosterone, steroids, gayness.
I don't think he's that attractive.
Oh, I didn't say he was attractive. I just called him a swan.
Yeah, like he does not. There's something on that face that just does not do it for me.
Or butterfly, I guess it would be. He's like a mariposa.
Like a mariposa? Jesus. All right. Dear listeners, we're at Cabot Cove, and if you didn't catch it, the Boston is getting ready to host the Rostov Ballet, and there is a protester, a communism protester.
I love her so much.
On the television set, and Ethan says, "Doesn't that just make you sick to your stomach?" And Mr. Mims at that point said, "Well, Ethan obviously doesn't like women with opinions."
Wait, what?
Well, that's what he said. She just says her opinion, and then they cut off, and he's like, "Does that just make you sick to your stomach?"
I thought he was talking about the fact about the Russians being here.
I mean, that's not the way it played. If you go back and watch it,
I watched it a second time. I thought he was saying it more like he agreed with her.
Oh, okay. Well, they're at the ballet. Jessica and Dorian Gray.
Ooh, girl, if he's Dorian Gray, I really need to see that picture.
He was the original Dorian Gray in the 40s.
Was he?
Yes.
I didn't even think his character was interesting enough to look him up. So
he looked so familiar to me. Familiarity to me.
Not familiarity.
Familiarity. And like I was like, I know him, and so I looked him up, and he's Dorian Gray. If you look at the posters from the 40s, he looks the very same, just younger and like gaunter somehow. Yeah.
Wait, gaunter in the 40s?
In the 40s, yeah.
Well, I mean, that would make sense. He was probably more slim-ish.
I'm not slim in my 40s. I'm hoping for my 50s. That was a joke. So his name is Mr. Peterson.
You know what, though? I'll
What?
tell you this real quick. As much as you were joking about that, technically, Big Sister Maim
That's
is
true.
now slimmer than she has ever been in her life as an adult.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
So,
Zumba.
so there you go,
Lady
girl. It's
Zumba.
possible. It's possible. Lady Zumba and that keto diet, eating them chicken wings that are baked.
Is she on the keto diet?
She's on like a low carb diet. But
Okay.
all I always remember is every time she's around, she's just eating a bunch of big drumettes and chicken wings.
That feels like a stereotype.
I said they were baked. What do you want me
That's
to do?
true. Well, wait, are they air fried or are they baked?
I mean, I think they're air fried now, but back then, before the air fryers were very popular, it was baked.
So, according to the New York Times,
Okay.
which their wire cutter thing, which is their like rating thing,
Okay.
the best air fryer is a convection toaster oven.
Oh, will you send that to the husband, because he's been looking at air fryers now.
No,
he wasn't sure.
They're a complete waste of money. Get the I think it's the Cuisinart or Breville toaster oven with convection.
Oh, I think that's actually the one that he's looking at.
Yeah, like it's just a toaster oven that's got the pull out thing, but not like an air fryer.
See okay,
It's all the pan. But if you guys have a convection oven, you can just use that.
But here's the problem, though, is that I thought that too,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when we got the new stuff, the microwave is both. It's a microwave and a convection oven.
Yeah.
However, when I use the convection oven instructions, it's not doing it. So it's like I'm putting it in the
Are you using a pan there's also a pan. You have to buy a pan that's got like the holes and then like the air up underneath. If you look at air fryer oven pan, they're like $10.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
Like,
they're
what
not
are you
expensive.
talking about now? Hey,
Air fryer oven pan at the Amazons.
I just put that in the oven and I just turn on convection and I pray for Jesus that it'll come out crispy.
Jeff Bezos, send us some money since we just said something about you.
Hashtag Amazon dollars. Hashtag Amazon dollars.
Hashtag Amazon dollars. Hashtag OnlyFans wish list.
There you go. I mean, I don't mind now that Amazon owns Fabric.com. I could be using that gift card.
Do they really?
Oh, yes, girl.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, they bought Fabric.com.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, his name is Leo Peterson. Okay.
Yeah.
And so my name is Leo Peterson. From Russia's Petersons. So you guys are going to hear, dear listeners, there's going to be a lot of that accent. I do apologize. It's probably going to be the exact same throughout the entire thing. Anyway.
I'm not doing it. That's you. You're the accent guy.
He's handed a playbill from the bottom of the stack.
Hashtag definitely from a bottom. Because that gentleman was zesty. He was zesty.
So now we go over to the stage manager. We are backstage.
Well, remember the person that he's getting it from. He's an important character too.
He's the art director. He's the art director of the ballet house. I didn't catch his name till much later. Do you have it now? Did they even mention it till later?
I just wrote zesty in my notes.
Oh yeah, he is a little zesty. That's what you meant. I got it now. I got it.
He was all that. I personally was like, oh, those two have had sex. Like I literally was like, oh, they have done it like a lot.
That is true. Yes, with those glasses, those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Looks like you'd be a match game.
Richard Simmons perm.
Yeah.
I was like, those two gentlemen have done disgusting things. And finding out later about him being in the ballet himself, I'm like, oh, they did some dirty things.
That VO5 perm ain't moving, isn't it?
She should have done an Ogilvy, girl.
Anyway, we're backstage and we meet the stage manager, and he begins flirting with Irina. He offers to help her defect, and she's like, "No, I cannot go with you. So it's not only that it's that with a bad Russian accent, which I would like to plug one of the worst best movies of all time if you've never seen it.
What is it?
Boris and Natasha.
Oh, it is actually one of the worst best. Yeah, it really is. It's weird. It's like that's the kind of thing where you have a couple of drinks and put it on because it is weirdly good.
Yes. So we meet a KGB agent, Berensky, excuse me. And the stage manager is like, Berensky goes up to the stage manager like, you shouldn't be flirting with Irina because, you're American, I'm Russian. And he says, don't threaten me, comrade.
Yeah. I thought Berensky, for a minute there, I was like, man, he really has that, like, Dolph Lundgren really ruined Russians for us forever because everybody looked like Dolph Lundgren after that they cast. I was just like, oh boy, Bobo Dolph Lundgren, great.
So now we're backstage in the dressing room. We meet Natalia, and we meet the sexy Russian male dancer. Girl, he did it for me. That eye makeup. Oh.
Not the eyeliner, honey. What?
Girl, it was something. It was something like
that black swan.
It got me going.
I mean,
it made my brown eye blue. What?
Ew, gross. That's nasty.
It also gave it a sty, but here we are.
That thing gave you pink eye, girl. You got pink. That ain't no sty. Girl, you don't get a sty. You don't get no sty in just one eye. That's in both eyes. You got pink eye. What you been doing?
Anyway. What were you going to say about? What were you going to say about before I interrupted with my rude joke?
Girl, I don't even know no more. I'm too hung up on your styed eyes with your pinkness.
My styed eyes.
I can't. I don't even understand no more. I don't even understand what's happening anymore.
I just had a song go through my head. You know what it was? For some reason, Lady in Red is dancing with me. Just
is that what you call your style?
Anyway, we're going to let my style go. Just let it go. Let it be free.
Let it go. Go in nature. Walk in nature, Ilsa.
Anyway, we're sitting down and watching the ballet now.
Yes, we're very wrapped.
Leo opens his program, and Jess looks over and sees the number 19 written in the corner. She starts asking about it. He's like, no, pay attention to ballet. Pay attention to the ballet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the most off-timed ballet ever. Like, I don't...
Oh, stop it. They have some recording that they put next to music, and they played the music later. You know that's what happened.
Wait, what is going on here? It's replacing. Oh, hold on. There we go. I see what's happening.
Lord Jesus.
So then,
are you recording this, by the way, with the other thing too?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I didn't get your little Eric is recording message earlier.
Well, then we ain't. Lord knows.
Okay, then. That's the video with the podcast guys. Podcast guys.
What is going on? So it looks like... Oh, yes. And then we're backstage off to the side.
Yep.
And Berensky warns the manager again. And then the manager calls him a Rusky, which I have never heard. I've heard Ruski, but I've never heard a Rusky.
That's how they say it in Boston.
In Boston. You Rusky. God.
Oh, man. They're leaning heavy.
Yeah. So the art director is heading to the back room. Leo and Jess both notice, because Jess can't watch this off-time mess that's on in front of her. Girl, it wasn't even off-time to the music that was playing. It was off time. Like, they weren't even really dancing. Did you see the twists and the turns?
Are you paying attention to the show, or are you watching the ballet?
Okay, fine. And there is a knock, 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 knock on the back door. Mm-hmm. A knock, knock, knock on the back door and it's the protester lady, and she's like, democracy demands that you get these people gone, and don't let this Russian influence, and blah 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 blah.
I understand the purpose of her character, and I love a good over actress, but at the same time I'm like, is the ballet, is that just a Russian thing? I mean, don't Americans do ballet as well? Like,
it was a big thing in the 80s to have the Russian ballet come. Like, it was cultural exchange. Yeah, it was huge. It was a cultural exchange.
Girl, how you at? We lived in the sticks. What are you talking about? I didn't know about that.
Girl, I knew about it, and I lived in the sticks.
You lived in some nicer sticks.
Peter Jennings told me about it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you two were close like that. Did he whisper it in your ear, or did he whisper it in your sty?
Dear listeners, if you will excuse me, Maim and I need to have a private conversation. Sidebar, you being a bitch girl. All right, we're back. Okay, so the art director, after she's banging on the door saying, let me in, the art director opens a window, and she gets a little coy look in her eye. Oh.
No, that was weird, right? Because
yeah.
I was like, when the window opened, she like ran the other way, which I was like, shouldn't you be going back toward the window? And she was like, like, I was like, where is she going?
So Leo heads off to go backstage. Mm-hmm. And Jessica's like, where are you going, Leo? Where are you going? Where are you going? It's curtain call now. Mm-hmm. And the fat man from Jake and the Fat Man shows up.
You've been waiting the whole podcast.
Oh, you don't understand. Dear listeners, Jake and the Fat Man was a crime thriller lawyer show. I don't know. Jake was a cop.
It was a detective show.
Yeah, it wasn't by the end of it the Fat Man in a wheelchair.
It wasn't that he was in a wheelchair. He was just didn't get up.
Just sitting a lot.
Literally, like, it wasn't that he was like disabled or the one you're thinking about is Ironside. That's the one that he was in a wheelchair.
Okay.
No, Jake the Fat Man, he just didn't move a lot.
He was just fat. All. He was just fat. But it was a show that was on, but he was always the most entertaining part of the show.
Our family loved it. We loved that show.
Jake was always kind of obnoxious, but the Fat Man was.
Remember, Jake too back then was considered sexy. Like, could you imagine at this point now? Like, he looked like kind of like somebody's like old, like middle-aged Italian uncle.
I know.
Back in the 80s, it was like, ooh, this guy's sexy.
He's a sexy middle-aged Italian uncle. So
receding hairline and all of the things.
So they're doing all of the like curtain call. Alexandra and Natalia are gone.
What?
And the protester lady comes on stage and says these words, because I wrote them down.
Yes.
In the name of entertainment, ban the ballet.
T-shirt.
So Leo rushes Jess off.
Mm-hmm.
And we go backstage and we learn that Brensky is dead.
What?
Yeah. We're outside and Alex and Natalia, Alex is my sexy Russian man.
Yes.
Are at the car.
And we find his chauffeur's outfit with that eyeliner.
I was like, eyeliner. I was like, and my next line in my notes is Alex loves his eye makeup.
Right?
And so do I, girl.
Yeah, I was like, hey, goody. I was like, that needs to be a look right there. I could do that at a con.
You could.
That'd be a deep cut. They'd be like, what is this from? Episode 9 of season 1 of Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, God. Well, that's a real deep cut. Where's the fat man?
Like, he's somewhere eating. Somewhere.
Anyway, Alex and Natalia are defectors.
No.
Duh.
That's enough.
So they're driving away, and like Leo's telling the story of everything, and he's like, "Well, turn on the radio. Maybe there's something about the defection on there."
Again, they turn on the radio, and it instantly is the exact thing that they needed it to be.
Exactly, but it's not about that.
I know.
It's about the murder and Alex.
Who got murdered?
Berensky. We've already mentioned it.
I was saying it for the audience.
Oh, Berensky. We've already mentioned it. What? He was kind of an ass. So we find that like Alex and Natalia are the top suspects.
Bum, bum, bum.
But there is no way we could have committed murder. We did not do the murder. Murder. What accent is this murder?
I think you just did Swedish there.
Yeah, perhaps I did the Swedish. Yeah, there it is. There's the Swedish.
You just had to add a ya to it, and that was it.
I'm not good. Dear listeners, if you don't know this by now.
Oh, they know.
I'm not good at accents.
They know.
I'm kind of bad at it. In fact,
they know.
Okay,
yeah, they know. Except for one accent. One accent you're quite good at.
Which one? The Sling Blade one?
Yes,
okay.
That one.
And then they're like, we cannot go to the police because if we go to the police, the KGB will drag us to Russia. To Mother Russia.
Sorry, for a minute there you sounded like your grandmother.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Yeah. I was like,
song?
Oh, like your
Is
your voice,
everything okay?
your voice right at that one tone. I was like,
I'm
triggered. I'm triggered.
90 years old, she still sounds the same.
I'm triggered.
Well, they were going to go to Portland, Maine, y'all. Maine. We're in Maine, Portland, Maine. To like go to the federal authorities and say, hey, we're defecting, take care of us. But now that they're on the fly, they don't know where they can go. So Jess like, go up to Cabot Cove. Ethan will watch after you. Leo lives there. It'll be great. I'm going to stay in Boston and figure it all out.
The way you did that, it's like, it sounds more ridiculous when you say it that way.
Jessica Fletcher's hubris. Let me just tell you. Oh, God. So she goes to the backstage, and we meet Ivan. That is the fat man's name, Ivan. He has a very good Russian accent. It is very good. He sounds like... Did you ever watch the Americans?
No.
Oh, you should. I haven't made it all the way through, but Margot Martindale is a KGB agent. It's fantastic.
That lady's a KGB agent?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I respect her as an actress, so I'll give it a try because she's in that show.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's great. And Kerry Russell and Sexy Man, who was in the that movie.
Sexy Man that was in that movie.
He was in the Mr. Rogers movie.
I haven't seen that.
You didn't see the Mr. Rogers movie? Oh, if you ever want a ball.
That's why I didn't see it, because
You
I
need to
don't.
watch that.
I cry on normal days. I don't need
Have you watched Centaur World
No.
on Netflix? Oh, if you want to cry, watch that too.
Isn't it like an animated show?
Yes.
Okay.
It deals with grief and war and love and all that.
All that. This is all that.
This is all that. I reached for a note. I'm not sure which one it was,
Okay.
but
It's
because
all right.
you were way off far up there, and I did not want to meet that because my throat hurts already from that style.
I always.
So I have Jess shows up backstage, but the way that this J looks, it looks like piss. Which
Okay.
And we meet O'Farrell, the FBI agent, because everybody in Boston is Irish.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Mr. Buddy.
Mr. Buddy. So Jess introduced herself, and Ivan is like, I love your books. Your books, they are fantastic. And Ivan wants Jess to help.
Yes.
Mr. O'Farrell is like, no, go away. Don't help. But Ivan's like, of course she can help. Of course she can help.
She's JB Fletcher. Of course she can.
Is JB Fletcher. She's JD Shackelford. Of course she can help.
She's now known across the world for solving these mysteries.
Well, except for in Russia, because Russia doesn't pay author royalties.
Arthur Miller fees.
Arthur Miller.
Those are from the Dudley Moore currency.
Mary Warren. It's a witch. Oh, there you go. There's my Arthur Miller fee.
We're not paying for that.
No. Crucible, y'all. Learn your history. Didn't say it was good, just said it was there.
That's what. That's not good.
So we go back to the scene of the murder.
Yes.
There's a bad tape line on the ground.
Yes.
We find out that the major, which is Ivan, found Bronsky back there. He had fingernail marks on his face, and Alex's dagger was used to commit the murder.
Oh, it must be Alex then. Alex definitely killed him.
So Jess is like, well, there's another person in this room who could do this. You have the motive, Ivan. To prevent the defection. You wanted to keep them here longer, Ivan. Is that right? Is that right? And Ivan's like, ha ha ha, you're funny. That's too much work for fat man. Would you like dinner? He basically says that, girl.
No, it's not that I disagreed with you. I just like it. Just got you just started getting more German. You just started getting more German.
Yeah, it's probably easier if I just go German instead of Russian.
It might throw off the audience though, because they're talking about Russians.
It's just as intimidating as an accent, but it is a little bit easier for me.
Well,
yeah.
You are German, so yes.
Mostly, yes. I've got a little Polish in me too.
We've all had a little Polish in us, honey.
Oh God! We've also all have 1/16. Have had 1/16 African American in us because we're from the South. Did that one hit you hard, there, girl? Did that one hit you hard?
And he hits me hard every day I look in the mirror. What are you talking about?
Okay. So Ethan calls them and it's like, it's gonna put me in some deep chowder, just helping you. Some deep chowder.
I am living for these accents today.
I love this episode so much. I don't think you understand. This is the best episode of this, and I was so excited to do these really bad accents and not have them be consistent at all. Because you know what I can't do? Consistency. Talk to my therapist. Um,
I probably talked to them more than you.
it's probably true. So Ivan shows up at the door. We're at the hotel, and Ivan shows up at her door. There's a... Not masturbation. I apologize. I meant a knock.
That did not sound how you think it sounded.
Anyway, the lab reports are in. So instead of going on this date, Jessica, would you like to go to see the lab reports?
Ooh, yeah, that sounds sexy.
Doesn't it though? So they're in the FBI like headquarters in Boston, which looks very similar to the police headquarters in Seattle
and New York,
and the ones in New York. Yes, just filmed from different angles, right? Like, so maybe they aren't the same, but something tells me this CBS set only has like two. Anyway,
they just changed the painting outside to a different skyline.
We find out that the victim's hanky was in his pocket, covered with his own blood.
Oh.
And there are green fibers in the watch band, in his watch band.
Oh.
The protester is upstairs, so they're going to go up and see if she has some shit up underneath her fingernails, and she's wearing a green coat.
What? So she did it?
Maybe.
Okay.
The fat man is really hamming it up now. Like he's eating up all of the scenery, as Maim likes to say.
Style, yes.
Yes, they decide to go back to the hotel. He's in the elevator with her, and he's just flirting and being sexy. She's flirting back, like it is.
She is. It's mutual. I loved it.
It is mutual. I did too. And so the fat man goes to his room, and Jess, it looks like she's going to the penthouse suite, but rather than do that, she hits one.
She goes back down.
She goes back down. And we find out she goes to the art director's house.
Oh, hey girl,
Mr.
Hey.
Eddington.
Yes.
So Mr. Eddington's dad, in the War of World War II. I was gonna say the Battle of Moscow, or the Battle of Berlin, but it came out the war instead. I was gonna say the War of Berlin, so it all got miscombobulated in my good brain. If that's my good brain, what do you think my bad brain's like?
I don't know. What's your bad brain like, girl? Ooh.
All right, Jack A, North Carolina's own.
Oh, I love her. Have you watched her on the soap opera that she's on?
No, she's on soap opera now.
Girl, she's been on a soap opera for years now. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, when I was at the doctor's office last week, I saw her. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. What is happening right now? God. So, yeah, she's been on there for a while.
Let me tell you what happened to me today. This is not a happy story.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I was getting ready to go to work, and I had to I was putting a package in my car and take it to the back to the UPS place before work. So I put the package in the car. I'm driving. I'm wearing flip flops because I always wear flip flops before I'd switch shoes at work. Anyway, girl, there are fire ants on my feet.
Shut up.
I as I'm leaving the street to my house, I flail open that door and kick as many of them off. I get to the UPS parking lot. I have to knock out these fire ants that had fallen off my pants leg because they were crawling on my pants leg.
How many were there?
20.
Good Lord.
I'd apparently been standing in a line of them as they were trying to cross the street. Yeah. So after I got them all out of my car, I was like, you know what I need to do right now? I need to go to that bakery right there, get myself a chocolate chip cookie and a coffee before I go to work.
Yes! That is what I'm talking about. That's therapy right there. Hey, that's physical therapy.
Yes, it's true.
Oof, Lord.
So we find out that Natalia is Leo's grandniece.
Oh.
And that Leo was like a famous Russian ballet dancer.
Oh.
And like he wanted to defect, but he was injured in the war and like has a limp and could no longer dance. Eddington explains the entire plot of how he was going to leave the window open. Leo was going to come in through the window, leave some clothes in a locker number 19, which was the number that was written in there. And then, but afterwards, Baranski saw him.
Oh no.
And that's really everything he has to say. A little light clicks in Jess's brain, and she's like, well, I'm going to go now. This has been great and all. He's like, are you sure it's okay for you to walk through the streets of Boston? She's like, yes. Girl, what are you going to do? What are you going to do that I can't do, Queen? What are you going to do?
What are you talking about, Queen? I know what I'm doing. I got my mace. What you got?
Yeah, what you got besides a nice scarf? What is that going to do? Slap them real hard in the face? And then what? They're going to take your scarf and smack you back. What?
Suffocate them with that perm? Is that what you're going to do?
Girl, you know it had a smell too, right? Like it smelled like burnt hair. That entire
burns.
set for days. Oh God.
The 80s. That's the 80s to me. It's just like one giant bad perm smell.
So Jess is walking through the streets of Boston, and she's being followed.
Oh no.
So she jumps into a little alley, jumps out behind the dude as like, "Hi, how are you?" And the fat man shows up, and like, and it turns out it was a KGB tail, right? Although Jess calls it a bodyguard, it was a tail.
Yes.
So we find out that she didn't actually have to go all the way over there to Mr. Eddington because the protester has been arrested for murder.
Oh, great. So that's the end of the episode.
No, there's still more.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because we get this fantastic interaction next. Back in Cabot Cove, Amos, the sheriff, has a comedy with Alex. He's like asking Alex, the hot Russian, still with the eye makeup on.
Still.
With the little like sailor's outfit, questions, and all he's saying is, yup, nope. It's so funny.
Which you would think, I mean, I guess I'm wrong. You would think a person that's traveled the world in the ballet probably speaks a little English. Probably.
I don't know at this point. I don't. They really didn't travel that much.
Oh.
Like it. They kept them in Russia and only let them out for very like short amounts of time and only with their handlers. It was very weird.
Okay.
Because they didn't want them to do what Alex and Natalia did.
Well, they just proved Russia's point.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Amos says to Ethan, keep your eyes open for some Russians. He convinces Amos that Natalia is a Swede. And Amos even says the guy, Alex, sounds like he's from Bangor. Yeah. Like, what? Tom Bosley, this is some fantastic acting.
I loved it. This is like my favorite Amos episode so far.
Yeah. So now we're back at breakfast with Jess and the fat man. I know, wouldn't that have been great?
Oh, wow. If they had teamed up, I would have lost my mind.
We find out that Rodecker, who's the protester, has not yet made a statement to the police.
What? Yeah. She's holding out. I wonder why she's holding out.
We also find out that Irina is Natalia's best friend. I love her so much. So Jess wants to meet her. Mm-hmm. The fat man, Ivan, calls her over, and she's like, "It is very pleased to meet you. Hello, Jess. Hello, Jessica. Jessica Fletcher. J.D. Fletcher. JB, not JD, JD Shackelford. It's so nice to meet you, JD Shackelford.
You have transitioned into Mojo Jojo from the girls. Just letting you know.
Mojo Jojo.
It is transitioned. You have gone down this pathway.
This is better. I'll go back to doing Sling Blade. It's
Wow.
Sling Blade with the Russian accent. So there you go.
So that's Mojo Jojo.
Apparently so. So Jess is going back to Cabot Cove. She's like, I am done with this. After she leaves, the KGB agent comes up to the fat man and goes, Rodecker decides to talk. What is this? What is this accent? Apparently, that sounded like the West Indian one that Anthony did in the last episode of
Yeah, actually, it did. It did, actually. Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, God. So Amos picks up Jessica at the bus and says Ethan is showing his new hand the ropes. And this is where he makes comment that he's from Bangor.
Yes.
Just like, what?
And Jessica's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, what? She's like running like a crazy person.
Yep. So now we're back at Jess's, right? And she's preparing a dinner, and like everybody's there. Leo and Ethan and Talia and Alex. And then a sailor shows up at the door. And he's got an accent, ma'am. I don't know what this accent is, but this is the one he's got. He's apparently Scottish.
I'm not disputing you at this point. He's
got a very strong Boston accent, like
very unusual character.
Yes. And he asked to use her phone. And she's like, yes, of course, you can use the one in the kitchen. And she asks if are you from down east? He says, no, I'm from Maine. Which he finishes up the phone call and leaves. And she said, oh, he was obviously FBI. Well, how do you know that? Well, he said he's wasn't from Maine, but he's from down east. Oh, apparently down east means Maine.
Yes.
My husband knew that.
Did he?
He did.
I mean, we wouldn't possibly know that.
No, we wouldn't. No, we absolutely wouldn't. But two of his friends went to school in Maine.
Okay.
There's like a really bougie private school up there. So
it's bougie. Okay.
Bougie.
I didn't know your husband was bougie like that. I didn't know that.
Yes. He bougie like that.
Lord. I did not know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Trophy wife fish. All right.
I know. That's right. Anyway, so we find out that the phone is bugged. So she, of course, decides to call Letitia from that phone to get a phone call.
I wrote in my notes, Letitia's back. I'm so happy. I desperately wish, I know this sounds ridiculous, I wish every time she talked to Letitia, they did a split screen so we could see Letitia.
I know. So, wait, Letitia, could you please hold on just a second? Apparently the operator can hold on.
Oh, okay, sure.
But Ivan showed up at the door.
Oh, no. But aren't they already at the house? Aren't they going to get found?
Well, he and Amos searched the house. And apparently the protester who was forced out of the theater scratched Baranski, saw Leo come in, and people leave.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Oh. So now Alex and Natalia are the prime suspects again.
Oh, jeez.
Leo just walks in and is like, I did it. It was me. It was me. And he gets arrested, even though Jess is like, why? You can't do that. And Ivan's like, obstruction of justice, do it. Amos is like, whatever.
Amos is literally like, Amos, I think that's like the other thing, right? Is Amos's character, he's so just kind of like, oh God, I don't know what to do anymore. I just, whatever.
So after they leave, Jess talks to Letitia and gets the phone number for the stage manager.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to tell Irina something. And Jess says some Russian, And Irina's like, oh, you said it perfectly. That's exactly, I understood every word. Is Alex, that's so sweet. Oh my God. Jessica suggests that Fleming, who is the stage manager, we finally have a name for the stage manager now, bring her to Cabot Cove. So Jess is saying, Irina, why don't you come to Cabot Cove? You can be free with Natalia and Alex as well.
That seemed wild to me. Jessica's like enabling a defection.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So the next morning, Jess is going for a jog.
Oh.
She's being tailed by the KGB.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we go into the police office, and there's some comedy between the Fat Man and Amos. They're having a ball doing this.
They are. They're like, we're just two old TV guys. We're having such a good time.
Exactly. And
Craft
there's
services.
a phone call for the major. Irina is missing.
Oh no!
Yes, Irina is gone. We don't know where Irina is.
That's not good. That's really quite terrible, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
Jessica's gonna be in so much trouble.
It's true. Am I missing something?
No.
Oh, well, there's one thing I missed. The dude who was chasing Jess comes in and says, I lost her.
Yes.
I lost her. How could you lose her in this little post-stamp sized town? And Amos is just laughing.
I did appreciate watching him lurk in the bushes because he looked the opposite of inconspicuous.
Yes.
God, I was like, wow, dude, like a full suit and a derby. Okay.
Yes. So Fleming is taking Irina to Jess's.
Oh man, this is getting crazy.
Yes. And Irina just wants to live in freedom. So they get to the house. Irina shows up and Fleming. And Jess needs to go make a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
She decides not to use the one that's in the living room because that phone isn't bugged.
Oh.
So she goes to the kitchen and says, Ethan, take Natalia and Alex to your boat.
Wow. Boy, oh boy.
Fleming is like, I just want to leave this place. I don't know what's going on. And just like, they're watching. Who's watching? Oh, the FBI, the KGB. Everybody's watching this house right now.
They're trapped.
Ivan.
They're trapped.
Ivan enters. He's like, oh, I see you have somebody here who is I'm looking for. Well, he approaches Irina, and Irina is like, Fleming did it. Fleming killed them all. Fleming,
wow.
Fleming, he hated him. And Jessica's like, no, dear. Tale as old as time. You were in love with Alex. And Ivan's like, no, that was over. And then Irina's like, no, he said he loved me. You told me that in Russian that he said he loved me. Can you not hear me right now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
It was getting really weird there for a second. Not your sound quality, just your voice.
Oh, sorry. It is a little raspier than usual. So Jess lied to Irina to get her to confess.
Confess to what?
The murder.
No.
Yes, there's been a reason I've been using that voice for this entire time.
I can't.
Irina's the murderer.
No.
Jess kind of knew it since the beginning because she wasn't at the curtain call.
That's right, the video playback.
Correct. So when she realized what was happening, Irina went backstage to the dressing room. They weren't there. Baranski came in, and he was going to call to catch them, and she killed him to let them be free.
Oh my gosh.
She gets arrested, but won't be taken back to Russia because they have no jurisdiction here. It's true.
We don't extradite back to Russia?
No, not that time.
I don't know.
No.
I'm so sorry for not knowing foreign policy law of the United States in the early 80s when I was a child.
So Ivan is like, oh, well, I wish Natalia and Alex well. You can't win them all. And then...
That does not sound like a Russian to me at all.
No. And he's like, how's the fishing here? Just like, oh, it's fantastic. You should stay in for a couple hours to do it. He's like, sometimes days turn into weeks, turns into months. And then she was like, well, I will send you my book if the Kremlin won't think you're compromised. And he says, sometimes a man likes to be compromised. Do 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 do.
I felt like at the very end of this, I was like, wow, this feels almost like you could play Sunrise Sunset from Fiddler on the Roof.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset.
That's literally how you sang it in high school, too.
I hated that. So, have I told you who I blame for that? Have I ever told you I blame for this? I have somebody to blame for this.
Okay.
Tevye from that production. I hope you listen to this, Tevye.
You know he doesn't.
I know. Tevye from that production told me many times to not listen to the soundtrack because you have to put your own spin on it.
That sounds like him. That does sound like him.
Who knows more about music and musical theater, me or him? Him. So I trust him. You know what I should have done? Just memorize the fucking way Laser Wolf did it in the movie.
Or, just ask your best friend that also knows about musicals as well. But, whatever.
You were doing 17 parts. I couldn't ask you anything.
That's true. Yeah. I every time I look back, and this is not me being bitter, right? But I think it's really funny how every time they always talk about that thing, I was like, they always look at that one, and I'm like, I literally played 7 parts of this musical, and somehow everybody's looking at him like, wow, you really did it. I'm like, what? I had to do costume changes. I had to do everything. But it's fine, because that set
you
me
were
up
all of the Black Russians.
It's right, girl. Everybody loved the Black Russian. Ooh. Wait, that's a drink, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay,
It's Kahlua and vodka.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. A White Russian Kahlua vodka and cream. They're good. Have you never had a White Russian before?
I have not.
Oh, girl, go get you one.
Oh, yeah, let me go do that. I have some Kahlua up in the house right now, actually.
You got some creams?
Oh, I do have some here. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have some vodkas?
I do. You know that already.
Well, girl, just go make you one real fast.
I might just go make one after this call when I eat my pot pie.
After your pot pie. What kind of pot pie is it?
Chicken.
Well, now, you know what? We have drifted too far away. Do you think they fucked? That is the most important thing.
I think that Jessica made this gentleman feel like the old Russian Olympic athlete that used to be him, that's underneath all of that fat. And I think they had crazy, passionate, really just diplomatic sex.
You know what I want? This made me want a show with those two in it. Is what it made me want.
Jess and the Fat Man should have been a thing.
Or a romantic comedy, like a sitcom with them in it, like something.
That could have been very ahead of its time. They didn't have sitcoms with older people in them. But
no. Like the
like they had Golden Girls and that was it.
An American version of what was the Judi Dench show?
Oh, as time goes by.
As time goes by.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yes. Yes.
Because he's kind of a curmudgeon, actually, kind of like that guy was.
Yeah.
Missed chances, right?
Missed chances. Well, girl, we've talked for over an hour. Why don't you tell our dear listeners where they can find you?
Sure. Hi, dear listeners.
Hi.
This is Auntie Maim, your favorite relation. And
she always says that, even if it's not true.
It's my catchphrase. If you are online, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at auntie.maim. That's MAIM. Follow me for, I don't know, recipe tips, stuff like that. If you're on Twitter, I'm at the Maim Ministry. And
is it the or just Maim Ministry? I thought it was just Maim Ministry.
It's just Maim Ministry.
Don't say the. Just say Maim Ministry, girl.
Or maybe I should change it to the.
No, you already got it. You already got followers. You are Maim Ministry.
I don't have a lot of followers.
You got enough.
Okay, cool. And and if you ever are down in Miami,
This is the important one, y'all.
Yeah, I perform improv comedy at the Villain Theater, which is at villaintheater.com if you want tickets. And I also host a weekly karaoke show called Amazing Colossal Karaoke. That's a bit more comedy than your normal karaoke show, so we kind of make it more like a variety. And yeah, so come visit me every week, Miami Beach at Kill Your Idol. And what about you, my sweet, delicious, tasty Mims?
I am the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me on Twitter at Divine Miss Mims. You can find this podcast on Twitter at YouSlayMePod. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/MimsandMaim. See what I did there? I kept it concise, bitch.
They don't listen for me to be concise, Eddie. They listen for me for the humor and the
Girl,
spice.
they don't listen.
They listen for the spices and all the extra S's.
You know what? I am so tired. Say goodnight, Maim.
Good night, Maim. Bye.
Bye, y'all.